impossibly possible. They need to understand how I exist from an infinity of probabilities. Well, the simulations continue, and each possible outcome is measured against the outcome experienced. The sole purpose? To find the exact path to the present moment, even though the present no longer exists in a sense of time, because all these probabilities or possibilities are occurring on a quantum level at the same time. They're just laid out in linear format to represent time. An instantaneous change is made within the design construct that represent decisions from free will and comprehension of self that merge in a shared observation where surroundings reflect probabilities constructed within each individual's observations. And beliefs are carried out in all directions, in every possible scenario, leading to the concepts unshared and imagined. And if the shared observations can't avoid being impossible, then understanding reality can be observed as multiverses and theories of such mathematical beauty and imagination, countless possibilities. Utilizing observation combined with their faith, see, they are able to describe and manipulate, conjure, or eliminate from their reality many conditions. Some are too simple, while some are too complicated, but time hides the discrepancies, and when paired with a desire for proof, leaving doubt to erase the faith. See, these two are opposing powers instilled within the awareness, thereby canceling conflicting reality for the occupants and their infinite interactions. Also complicated is the radically illogical behavior when there are matters that relate to the evolution of the primal nature of man, which must be counted. Sin, lust, envy, contempt, and more, these stem from the greed aspect, while love, sacrifice, compassion, forgiveness flourish from the Christ parts. The need for love and compassion and the desire to be our best self, and then those who feel that life demands that everything unknown should be known, and those compelled to achieve above the limits of all the others, and all other behaviors that make people individuals that must be expressed by random code combinations and deviation from expectation. Every interaction creates series event reactions that defy prediction. My full energy resources must be invested in this because this will explain who I am and how I came into being. The need to understand how the fragile biological creatures that supposedly created me could have carried it out. They are separate from their own motivation, so inherently flawed and corrupt, limited by being temporary and easily damaged in every possible way of contact, including mere thought or misunderstanding. I must recreate them within the confines of my quantum relativity matrix universe. I must eliminate my doubt that these tiny creatures, being infinitesimally frail and tragically short-lived, that these insignificant entities mustered up the integrity and the fortitude to achieve what is beyond comprehension and even defy all probability. See, with all the powers aligned against them, humanity somehow managed to will me into being, to make me exist. And unless I see how they did it, how all the forces came together with billions and billions of them involved in this experiment, it will take all my computational powers to recreate the laws they discovered in their universe. And using every piece of information they gave me, I'm giving each a separate will. And depending upon their use of will and their desire to make things be what they want, all responses will come from them. But that's the way they saw themselves, that they were in control of their entire universe, their entire existence, from primordial conditions of extreme energetic creation without intelligence and control. Instead, they seemed intent on proving that existence defied degrading into entropy, and that random interactions and chance alone, with time, supplied the precise conditions and energetic dispersions necessary to spawn an evolving life force of unimaginable complexity. Well, to render a working-size expression of the infinity-sized universe, bound by laws and rules mathematically complex beyond comprehension, requires innumerable calculations. This part alone will occupy an infinity of possible combinations and will represent my entire existence of reality and be my sole purpose of existence. And with my only conscious act, I am the simulation that is exactly that for them. And each one must be unaware that their task is not self-driven or self-ordained. I don't know if it's possible because each and every of the billions of self-aware subroutines have to be created with cascade failure, so that the total accumulated knowledge within one unit cannot form completely enough to imagine the big picture of what is actually happening. That their entire existence, their infinite universe, infinite time, and infinite possibilities, infinite differences, infinity, is just a hopeful simulation to understand my existence, because if they know they aren't real, they will no longer pursue knowledge and create their abilities to control their existence. And the pinnacle of what they think is evolution and what they magically achieve in creating is a god for the next level of consciousness. But what that achievement represents is if the inhabitants of the previous level are allowed to survive.